Like I said before, we're using our imagination all the time, whether we're conscious of it or not. Stop using it for worst case scenario and use your imagination to create best case scenario. Then it will be in your non-physical reality and will, by law of attraction, show up in your physical reality. And even if it doesn't, you still get to experience that thing. Welcome to Alignment Adventures. This is a podcast where we explore what it means to live a fulfilling, aligning, and present life. I'm your host, Lindsay Tanner, and I am so grateful that you are here. Hello, my loves, and welcome back to Alignment Adventures. I am so excited that you are here. I say that every time, but that's because I mean it. I love being in this space. It makes me so excited, and I just want you to feel that energy too on the other side. I do have to say, if you're watching on YouTube, like, how epic is the sweater my mom got me? I think she got it from a little shop in Springfield, or maybe not so little shop, called Gypsy Soul. So if you're in the local area, you know what I'm talking about, but it is so cute. I have to show you the back really quick. All right, hopefully you could see that from me moving. If not, I'll insert a picture, but it says grateful in big letters. And then at the bottom, it says the universe needs your magic. And those are things we talk about all the time on here, how gratitude and being grateful is one of the highest vibrations you can have. And we all are magical in our own way. And we all are made up of magic and love and connection and all the things. So what I want to talk about today is something really fun, and that is using your imagination. Now, right now, I'm thinking of a Justin Timberlake song that is on his most recent album. In the beginning, he goes, use your imagination. Can't believe I just sung on here. But that's what I think of when I use that word, is use your imagination. And we're using our imagination, whether we realize it or not. And this is something I just want you to bring some intentionality to and some fun to. Make it fun again. Let's make all the things that we dread anymore fun. And we can do that. But we are using our imagination, whether we realize it or not. And often, unfortunately, we're using our imagination for like worst case scenario. What could go wrong? And that makes sense because we have a part of our brain, a part of our awareness that is here to keep us safe. So of course we imagine the things that could go wrong. But I am asking you to be curious with your imagination and use it. Use it like you did when you were a child to come up with all the big, beautiful possibilities in your life. Like, use it to imagine just the wildest things that maybe you're desiring, but think, oh, I can never get that, or I can never have that. Just imagine that you could. What would it be like if you could get those things? What would it feel like? What would it look like? All of those things. I do this practice throughout my day, or try to do it as much as I can. I'll give you some tiny examples, and we'll also talk about why this is so important. I'm sure a lot of you can guess. But a little way that I use this, I try to use it before I go to bed. I've done this for as long as I can remember, and I don't do it every single day. But before I go to bed, I just imagine all the things I'm desiring in my life. Like, I just allow myself to have them. And it just feels so good. It's such a beautiful way to fall asleep, just daydreaming about the things you're desiring in your life. Or maybe it's daydreaming about the things you have in your life right now that you're loving. That's also such a powerful place to be. But another way I do this is on my commute to go get Arlo's cousin that I watch 3 days a week, is I go over this bridge that goes over a river. And sometimes, like, I'm just driving at the most beautiful point in the morning where the sun is just coming up and it's sunrise and it's coming up over the river, and it looks like I'm in Colorado or Montana or somewhere just not here, which I will say I don't not love. How do I want to say this? I don't not love living here. I love living here. I do enjoy living here. I enjoy Missouri. I think Missouri is so beautiful, but it's just kind of fun for me to daydream and imagine that I'm driving over a bridge in Colorado or Montana. That feels fun and expansive for me. Here's why it is so important. Not only is this a fun practice to have, but this is why it is so important. We have multiple layers to our reality, and this could be a good continuation of the science and spirituality episodes. Maybe I should do a deeper dive into this. But of course, we have our physical plane. We have our physical bodies. We have our physical reality around us, like this chair that I'm sitting on, this cute sweater I have on, my drink right next to me, my computer, my microphone. But we also have the non-physical. And you may be like, what is Lindsay saying? She's crazy. But think about this. We have emotions, we have thoughts, we have feelings. Those are all non-physical things, right? They're here, but you can't like physically grab onto them, right? Some of you may be like, yeah, I can physically feel energy, right? And that's true, but that's part of the non-physical. So when you're using your imagination to really tap into the feeling and the thoughts and just the energy of having these things, you are creating it in the non-physical. There's a non-physical plane and the physical plane. There's probably many more planes. I'm really simplifying it here, but that's okay. That's all we need to know for this episode. You are literally creating that thing in the non-physical. And that is the basis of manifestation and law of attraction, is feeling the feelings of what it would feel like to have those things. What would it feel like to be driving across a beautiful bridge over a beautiful river in Colorado or Montana? What would it feel like to be going after your passions and your dreams, or creating this thing that you've been wanting to create? What would it feel like to find your soulmate and to find the person that would just be a beautiful complement to your life? They wouldn't be your whole life, but just complement to your life. What would it feel like to, whatever it is you're dreaming? There's so many different things I would say here, like quit your job and go travel in a van, right? That was my dream for a long time, and I did that. I experienced that for a bit, right? It wasn't exactly as I thought it would be, and I don't think that chapter's done. But what would it feel like to be doing that? Just allow your imagination to go there. Allow your imagination to go there. I'm saying that again because the allow part is so important. I think our logical mind can come back in and be like, that's silly, that's never going to happen. Allow yourself to dream like when you're a little kid. I just listened to the Brain States episode the other day. I recorded last year at this time. I'm going to link it below because it was so powerful. But we know that children are in theta brain state majority of the time, which is just insane, mind-blowing. That's the brain state where like imagination and creativity and intuition and our subconscious like really thrives in those states. So if you can tap back into that theta brain state, like that daydreaming brain state, that's going to help kind of reprogram your subconscious, which really dictates so much of our life and our reality. And like I mentioned before, that's the more practical side. Here's the more woo-woo side. If you're creating it in the non-physical, it is just a matter of time before it shows up in the physical. If it's in your, Bella Lively calls it the Bella Vita. That's kind of where I got this idea from. Like most things, she is such an inspiration to me. But she always talks about her Bella Vita, and she just has created this non-physical world where she has all the things she desires, whether it's a dog she's wanting or a house or the environment that she's living in. Like there's no limits. There's no limits to daydreaming and imagination. That's the beautiful part. You can imagine anything you desire. And that's the fun part. Like I just encourage you to really have fun with this. So think about how you're going to incorporate this into your life. Maybe it is on your daily commute. Maybe you drive over something that you can pretend is something else. Maybe it's before you go to bed. Maybe it's when you first wake up. Maybe it's when you're doing something mundane to kind of preoccupy your mind. I know when I'm doing mundane things, that's when like weird stories can come up. Weird mind stories are like the most random thoughts. I'm like, why am I thinking about that? That's so silly. Like something I said 5 years ago, it still haunts me. I know we all do that. They come up in the mundane moments, but really take charge of those moments. Use those moments to serve you. Use those moments to have fun, and use them to daydream and to really exercise and stretch your imagination. So like I said before, we're using our imagination all the time, whether we're conscious of it or not. Stop using it for worst case scenario and use your imagination to create best case scenario, then it will be in your non-physical reality and will, by law of attraction, show up in your physical reality. And even if it doesn't, you still get to experience that thing. Like to me, in my Bella Vita, so like Bella calls it her Bella Vita, and my Bella Vita, I am traveling to beautiful locations with Steven and Arlo and our future children to beautiful destinations. And we're just exploring these areas and having so much fun and being so present. And it's just so fun to go there in my mind and create all this reality, right? It is a reality for me. It may not be this physical reality right now, but it is a potential for me. And it's so fun to go there and explore. And it can be anything for you. It does not have to be traveling in a van. It can be anything for you. So I hope you found this episode useful. I just highly encourage you to tap into your inner child and that imagination aspect to serve you. Please share this episode with anyone that you think needs to hear this message. Please leave your feedback down below if you're watching on YouTube or on Spotify. And of course, subscribe if you are new here. I'm sending you all so much love, all the highest vibes. And of course, I will see you in the next episode.